You serious right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey everybody, my name is Jamel.
Hey everybody, I'm Shanna.
Okay, this is our new channel. Well, it's a part of our channel, which is called Truth Be Told to You by You.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, this particular topic we're talking about today is relationships, right? And it's relationships and how does your past relationships, affect your present. And yes, of course, everybody's gonna say yes, yes, yes. But I think what we really are trying to get at is like how, right? How does it affect, your present relationships?
Right.
And do you truly get over, past relationships and things that have been done to you in the past? Mm-hmm. And this is in relation to of course, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, stuff like that. However, it's not limited to that. So we're talking about like parents. We're talking about brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. We're talking about relationships that you've had throughout your life and how that affects you.
Right.
Good and bad, but particularly bad because those are the ones that you get damaged from.
Mm-hmm. The people that are closest to you.
Right. People that you let in and you trust.
Hurt you the most.
Right.
Because you have that relationship with them. And you value their opinion more than a stranger. You value how they treat you more than a stranger. Because you have that bond with them. And when they disrespect that bond, or they come at you in a way that is unexpected, it can really take a toll on you.
Mm-hmm. Or like, for instance, I was just talking to Chan the other day as we was talking about this and coming up, with the content for, this particular channel, we were talking about a lot of things, that shape us and how a lot of the stuff that shaped us was external, literally. Like the damn, why I just lost my train of thought.
No, go ahead. I'm with you.
So, like, a lot of the way you feel about yourself, whether we sit here and admit it or not, a lot of it is based on external, commentary. Right? And I'm talking about even the most confident person say, I don't care what somebody think. I don't know that that's really true. Honestly, I don't care what people think, whatever. This is truth be told, so we really need to tell the truth. Yeah. I feel like every single person walking this planet cares about, to some degree or another, heard what I said, to one degree or another. So you could care a little bit or you could care a lot. That's the degree I'm talking about. What somebody else is thinking. You understand what I'm saying? And how I personally, because Shanna might feel a different way, how I personally know that is by the way people take care of themselves, overly groom or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Like how people, are always wondering or like how they feel when somebody doesn't want to, talk to them or just look, you know what? To point out what I'm talking about, just look at social media. TikTok in particular.
Right.
TikTok, Facebook is the devil.
Right.
But just look at it and look at how people react and respond on those different platforms, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of people. It's so many people. Everybody is like now doing this, live streaming. They on here making fools of themselves and doing all sorts of, stuff. For likes and views.
Yes, they are.
You see what I'm saying? And if that, and if you really didn't care what somebody was thinking, feeling, whatever, this wouldn't be a thing. Like us doing this would not be a thing. People having emotional issues would not be a thing for real. Because if the average person really didn't care what somebody thought about them, like there would be really no such thing as like emotional damage. How would you be damaged for real if you really didn't care? Because you got a lot of people that's trying to talk that jazz like, oh, I don't care what this person think about me, blase, but you mad. You in your feelings though. When you talking about it, like everybody to a degree, like I said, cares about, the image, the person, how we are presenting ourselves to other people, what people's perception of us are. People care about that.
Yeah, they do.
And I feel like people, is this in your way?
A little.
I feel like people are lying to themselves. And I know I'm sounding redundant, but I just want you to understand what I'm saying. In your daily life, really think about that. And I'm not just talking about random behind people on the street. I'm talking about from your mother to your father to your siblings to your cousins. You understand? The relationships that we form intentionally. You understand? When you go to school, that's what I'm talking about. When you're in school, all of that. And it hands down, it affects teenagers, kids in elementary school, in middle school, high school. You care. And this whole situation, we're talking about this to shed light on how people, can cope with, because I don't believe you heal really from the damage that people inflict upon you. I don't believe that you heal. I really don't believe you heal from it. I believe you learn how to deal with it, just like you learn how to, I don't think people too much accept death, right? I think that they learn to live with it because that's a fact of life, right? So I feel like it goes hand in hand. People learn how to cope with or live with the damages that have been inflicted upon them. And I think we're here, right, to talk about it, but then also to bring solutions how to not inflict said damage on people further in this stage, because we 40 years old almost, and we want to be able to adult correctly. Not only that, but to be great parents. You understand? Not only that, but to be great partners, to be great sisters, brothers, stuff like that.
Friends, everybody that's close to us.
Yeah.
And this internet is very serious. This is the wave of our future.
Exactly.
Everything is on the internet, and one thing with the internet is you can't erase it. It's here. Once it's out there, it's out there. Cyberbullying is so real. I mean, talking about kids' emotions in school. People have committed suicide. Children have not only lost friends, they become mute. They become less social. Interacting with people in school, they walk around with embarrassment. It's real. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And a lot of kids are shy and they don't want to talk about it. So we are talking about topics that are hard to express, topics that individuals, they don't know how to talk about it. So it is good to get things out in the air and open, and actually release what's in your heart, what's in your chest, because at the end of the day, it weighs heavy in your heart. And when you have an open forum where you can talk to people and you can express yourself with not feeling like you're being judged, that's the amazing thing. That's how healing begins. And that's what we're here about, to talk, to heal as brothers and sisters and friends, and just move on with our life in positive ways with positive solutions. And that's what this show is about. Yeah. So Melzy, just everything that we're talking about, how do you think relationships, it could be man and female and woman, female, male and female, friends, family members, how would you say, what affects you in your past? How does some of the baggage that you have in the past kind of sometimes or could affect your future? Can you give some examples?
Okay.
And you could talk, personally, maybe some things that happened in your life that our YouTube friends and families and sisters and brothers can relate to.
Okay. Well, I'll do that. But I also wanted to add that, I also wanted to, so people understand that this is not, we're not trying to be politically correct here.
Right.
This is going to be like a kickback. People are relaxing. We having a drink. We don't got no drinks right now because we both just got off work. Yeah. So, that's what the vibe is. You understand? And now I'm just going to say this up front. The experience that this is coming from is going to be a so-called American Negro one, or a so-called Negro, or whatever it is at this point that us people in America, Black people are identifying with today, right? This is essentially a space for us because we don't have a lot of them. You understand, where we can sit down and really have like that heart to heart. That's partially why us so-called American Negroes don't really talk about nothing. Why a lot of things as far as mental health is not something we really talk about, because we don't really feel comfortable talking about it, because it's something that, you might be called weak. You understand? And there's a lot of things, because see, this is what I'm talking about. Like this stuff, when you talk about relationships and the things that we're talking about and how the past affects your present, it's so much stuff in our so-called American Negro and our past, right? Everybody tell us constantly to get over our past, but there's so many things in our past that is affecting our present, the way you were raised. We can start there. Yes. If your parents, let's say your parents or your grandparents, you understand? For instance, my grandparents, they were sharecroppers. Think about that for a second. So their parents were slaves. Like, you have to understand then what was the things that were passed down. Like, when you're rearing your children. So what was passed down from them to their children? And it might not be something that we would consider today, oh, that's proper. You shouldn't be teaching your kids this, that, and the third. But you got to understand, there's a lot of things, that slaves had to teach their children so that they can survive, whether it was correct or not. You understand? Like, if you were smart and knew how to read, you understand what I'm saying? If you were beautiful, there's so many things, you understand, that we had to suppress. And I think that's another thing. We don't talk about none of that. Everybody's, and this is Black people like concluded, like we really don't want to talk about nothing like that. You understand? We don't even want to talk about it, much less dig in our past to find out what's there. We the only nation of people that's like that. We don't want to know nothing about it. We just want to keep moving, but not realizing that we literally on life support. Like, if you really want to take it and make it real visual, we are a nation that's on life support. You understand? And when it comes to emotionally, economically, we on life support. You understand? And I'm saying all that to say this. We talking about on a smaller scale. Fine, let's go there. When you talking about just me, myself, Jamel, this is how relationships and stuff affected, my past. So for instance, my father, and a lot of us Black women, so-called Black women, right? Our fathers were probably not there, right? Or if they were there, they weren't there emotionally, right? And there's some of us that had their dad was available emotionally, and they taught us, some of us got taught what their work was. Because whether we want to believe this or not, your father's your first love. That's what he is. He's your first love. He shows you how a man is supposed to treat you, love on you. Like, that's what he shows you. That is the purpose of having your father and your mother. That's the purpose for the daughters. Their father is their first love, and for the boys, their mother is their first love, and they're also their first example. That's my son, y'all. He don't know how to not, go in his room, do what he got to do. But anyway, so as I was saying, son, we not listening. You see this? He likes Rick Ashley. Son, go on in your room. Thank you. Good day. Good day. I'll call you when we need you. Go ahead.
We'll see you in a little bit.
Okay. Love you. But anyway, so your mother and your father are examples. You understand? Good or bad, they're examples. Them not being present, that also teaches you something. You understand? And so my father, he passed away when I was 12. But before then, my dad, he was an alcoholic. So you have to understand that. And a lot of us, if we did have our fathers and our mothers, there was some deficit. Either they were alcoholics, drug addicts. You understand what I'm saying? Or suffering from some type of depression because of abuse.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I mean.
Right.
Close the door.
Right.
And or they were suffering from some type of abuse. You have to understand, when we came out of slavery and was able to, quote unquote, be free, we were never debriefed. You understand? So we never had any type of what do you call that? Like therapy. We never had any type of therapy. Nobody's worried about our mental health. People just figured, okay, they free, so they should be good. Never mind all of this, the psychological and physical damage that a people have had on them. Never mind that, right?
Right.
They should be good. And so as a result of that, you have, things that's bled over from generation to generation to generation. So that's why you have, parents who have issues as far as depression, that have drug abuse, that were abused. There's so many things that's in our past that's crazy.
Exactly.
And when you don't have your father, like you need him, women, we need to go ahead and admit this. There's something missing. Whether your father died when you were young, you understand, or whether your father was out in the streets, whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's something that was missing. A part of you was missing, and you knew that. And so what you do, you went and looked for love, in all the wrong places.
Right.
You understand? And so, the relationships that you form may have been very unhealthy with the opposite sex. So like when you go out here and you meet a guy, even though there's red flags, you have to understand you don't know, right, how it's supposed to look, right? Because if you don't have your father, how is that supposed to look, right?
Right.
So this is new to you.
Right.
So you don't know what a red flag is, basically.
Right.
You have no idea. You brand new in this thing. So how you supposed to know what something look like?
Right.
So, you don't know until you in it.
Right. Exactly.
You in it, and then you realize, oh, what the hell is this? I don't think I like this.
Or I don't think this is what love is supposed to be.
Exactly. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Or that's what it is. And unfortunately, you find out these things and you hurt.
Right.
You hurt.
Yeah.
And you got dudes telling you, oh, you not even that cute. Like they say all sorts of stuff to you, like to diminish you.
Yes.
To really, bring you down. You understand what I'm saying? And why would this person lie to me? That's what you're thinking. You got to remember you're young, A lot of us been in relationships when we was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
The guys was substantially older than us. You understand? So the stuff that they may have been going through, they, impressed upon you. Like they were projecting.
Yeah.
And so you sitting there catching all of that. And now you have a complex that you didn't have. Like I said, like I was saying to you before, like you looked at your toes, you done had your toes your whole life. And you ain't think nothing was wrong with them, right? And then everybody took my look at that big toe. And you like, what the hell? I don't think my toe that big. And they like, that's a big toe. And now everybody's standing around looking at your big toe. And they're like, that's a big old toe. And you like, huh? Mm-hmm. And then your mama, you go home to your mama like, baby, your toe normal size. You like, you gotta tell me that. You're my mom.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. Everybody keep telling me it's a big toe. Well, your mama like, well, do you think that they might be jealous of my big toe? No, and then you get older, you get wiser, you live more.
Yeah.
And then to come to find out, you look back, your toe wasn't big at all. There was nothing wrong with your toe. Or while you sit here studying your toe, you ain't even paying attention to their toe. Some of them don't even got a big toe. They ain't got one at all. Or their toe look foo-barbed, and they talking about yours because, maybe they did fall away. They was jealous, mad. And I'm saying all that to say, like, that's exactly what happened to me as I got older, because, right, I didn't have my dad, I had my mom, but my mom, she worked a lot because she was a single mom. Right, you understand what I'm saying? Right. And so, I'm not going to fault my mom, and nor should any other female who has a mother and they had 2-3 kids or 1 kid and they're a single mom and they're trying to work. I feel like kids nowadays too, that's something else that we could talk about at a later date. But what I feel like is that kids, these young millennials, yep, I'm going there. I feel like y'all get too hard on your parents. Point blank, end the period. That's what I feel like. You understand? Because your parents, we have to navigate these streets, okay? And we have to tell you the best way. You understand that we know. And I get it. Oh, well, yeah, everybody got something to say. I understand all of that. But the fact of the matter is you can't fault your parents for trying to look out for you, because that's their first responsibility, is to look out for their kids. You understand? Do you realize, especially us black kids, our black kids, do you understand how y'all go missing on a regular? And guess what? No one cares. No one cares. Not saying that we don't care. What I'm saying is the people that should care don't. They're not looking for these kids that's missing. They're not looking for these black women that's missing. You see, so when your parents is telling you stuff and they in your business as you feel, they doing it for a reason, because you got predators out here in these streets that we were victim to. So that's what we trying to tell you. When we was 15, 16 and these dudes that was hollering at us, we thought, oh, maybe we older, we mature, and that's why they like us. No. They were straight pervs. That's what they were. And they was coming after little girls. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why your parent is trying to figure out what you're writing about. Yeah. That's why they're trying to figure out what's going on. So that's why I say that you need to be less hard on your parents and try to understand and feel where they're coming from. How about sit down and ask your parents about their past, about themselves, like what happened, what they go through. See, this is a thing that we don't do. Black people, we do not sit down and really share certain stuff. I am a firm believer that parents shouldn't share everything with their kids. There's certain things, in my opinion, that you shouldn't share, just because familiarity breeds contempt sometimes. Like if your kids get too familiar with you, they throw in that,
treating you like a friend as opposed and not a parent.
And not only that, they'll sit there and say, how you going to be the authority on anything when you did this, and this?
Right.
So I feel like you need to share in context. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So when it's necessary, then you share, you let them know.
Right. Don't be open about everything.
Right.
But if your child is going through something and needs an adult opinion or advice, or if you're seeing your child cry out in pain and need someone to talk to them. Or if they're going through something that you went through, even if it was embarrassing to you, put your feelings aside and step in and talk to your children about, it's not the end of the world. I went through the same thing when I was your age. Such and such happened to me. I'm not being so specific because there could be many different situations. Right. But let them know or talk to them about anything. Mm-hmm. Even if it's embarrassing. Right. You're the parent. There's a time sometimes when you as a parent is going to say, okay, I know I don't want to talk to my child about this because it doesn't look like a good image on me. But if it's something that you went through, that you had a hard time struggling with in your life, and since you've been through that situation already, you can give advice on how to cope with it because you've been through it too. Right. Whatever you're feeling that could help your child, talk to them about it, and your child loves you. So instead of thinking that the child is going to look down upon you, get that out of your system. Take for a second that pride away. It's more important to reach your child, to talk to that child, give suggestions, give real life and reality situations that you went through to help your child so they can cope with that situation better. Right. That's all.
Right. But yeah, it's like, so, we're saying all that to say that this is how, your past affects your present. Because
Yes.
if you don't have a parent like that sits down and talks to you, or is actually able to do stuff like that, you're more inclined to go out here and get yourself caught up, you understand, and end up, you know, with a lot of different complexes, you know, ending up, you know, getting into situations that cause you, you know, to be depressed later in your life. Like, you know, you just deal with all the wrong people. And it doesn't even have to be just like relationships. See, here's the thing. It's not just, you know, boyfriends. Like, so, you know, you got a boyfriend and they treating you like this, that, and the third. No, because it could actually be your girlfriends. That's something we don't talk about either.
Yeah.
As Black women, how ratchet we are to each other. Like, you literally sitting here, have your homie, you thinking that's your home girl, y'all cool, ace, boom, cool. Like, that's my ninja for sure. Like, that's my rider. Like, you know, like, that's my rider. Like, we in this thing. I mean, please go. Like, you really be thinking, like, you know, we in this thing. That's my bestie. Like, she would never. You understand? And then you start hearing stuff. And this is crazy because this is literally consistent with an abusive relationship. Like, you'll start to hear them give you back in comments. Like, not comments, but back in compliments. You understand what I'm saying? Or they'll just flat out be rude to you. Like, I've literally, and I was young, I think I was like 15 or 16. And I've had my friends tell me, and this is another thing, I've had my friends sit here and tell me that, oh, you not cute, you just light skinned. How is that why would you say that? You supposed to be my friend.
Right.
You not all that. They just talking because you light. What? So, so what you saying? Only dark skinned women are really cute? Like, I'm confused.
Hating.
Yeah.
Hating,
and I
nothing
just
but hate.
And I just think that, you know, that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that ain't never been a thing. Whether you dark, like, okay, are you kidding me? I like dark chocolate. You tripping. Tie your shoelace. You understand? That's my thing. But I just feel like that's some stuff that was said to me. Or, you know what I'm saying? I've had enough. Girl. She was supposed to be my best friend. Let me just throw this out there. She's supposed to be my best friend. Okay. And she saw a picture of my boyfriend at the time. And she was saying, see, that's your problem. That's why your boyfriend is cheating on you or something like that, because you always trying to, you know, get with dudes that's out of your league. But that's supposed to be my best friend. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's not, it's no exaggeration. That's exactly what it was. You understand? Or you have situations where, you know, you can be in a group and, you know, everybody act like they cool with you, whatever kind of group, dance group. You could be in a sorority. You can be in, I don't know, a step group, whatever, step team, whatever, any type of group where it involves a lot of women. And women know what I'm talking about, specifically Black women, because that's always who I'm talking to. You know, no disrespect to nobody else, but that's what I am. But sisters, y'all know what I'm talking about. You could be in a group and you could think of something. You could have like an idea. And because it came from you, everybody like, yeah, I'm not feeling that idea. I don't like that. No. But Tamika over there, she would literally say the same thing that you said. Now, all of a sudden, everybody with that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's just crazy, the stuff we say. Or we can sit there and be in each other's face. Like, you know, we shared an apartment together, whatever. We see each other every day. You my best friend, chill, whatever. You in my face, we kicking it. I'm thinking we cool.
Right.
We done go. We went through so many things together. Right. I was there for you when stuff was going on with you. You was there for me when stuff's going on with me. But then you behind my back talking about me over here.
Right. Two-faced.
Yeah.
Two-faced, definitely.
You understand? Definitely. You saying so much that's what I'm talking about. That's that all of that stuff. Okay. All of that stuff, you know, adds to the hurting of your person, you feeling away, second guessing yourself, basically being unsure about who you are. You understand what I'm saying? And because it's like, where's the checks and balances then, right? Because when you think about it like this, how do you, because how do you, how can I say this? So if you don't, right, care about what other people are thinking, right? Since we don't experience ourselves, and this is a real question.
Okay.
This is a real question.
Okay.
I mean, maybe since we don't really experience ourselves, and I don't know if y'all quite understand what I mean by experience yourself. Meaning, you don't step outside of yourself and say, "Hello, my name is Jamel. How are you doing?" Like, you get what I'm saying? Meet yourself, right? You don't experience you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you're experiencing me while I'm experiencing you. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So how do you really know how you come off to people? So in a sense, you kind of do have to listen to what somebody else is saying. Like, yes. Oh, you too loud right now, or you stink, or you got something in your eye. Like, you not saying that that's what's going on with you, but you see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So it's like, it's kind of hard to kind of navigate that. So it's like, how do you know, or how do you have like so much confidence that, yeah, I look like this and that's what it is. Like, my personality is on point. Like, I'm not, so you just hating, that ain't true, that ain't real. How would you know? Like, do you understand what I'm asking you?
Yes,
does it make sense?
Yes, I do.
So it's like, how do you know, right? Since for people out there that's like, they so confident, I don't worry about what nobody's saying about me because I know I got all of this together. How do you know that?
Right, because it could be, it's your perception, how you perceive yourself, which is great because it's always good to think highly of yourself. But it's another thing to think overly confident, overly. It steps into the borderline of being cocky, conceited, and those things are full of yourself. Those things are not good.
Right.
But it is good to think highly of yourself. So your question, if I'm not, mistaking it, is you're asking, how is it that, how do we judge ourselves if we have no one to give us feedback on how we are?
Right. If you don't care, if that's not a
right. So, but then you have to be careful on who you're getting this feedback from. If it's someone that truly loves you, like, let's say a loving grandmother or a loving sister, or even a loving friend. But if it's someone that does not have the best interests in you, or doesn't have the best interest in you altogether, you don't, or just somebody that's just walking around the street, somebody that is, you just pass by and say hi and bye, and all of a sudden have judgment on you or tell you something. No, don't take advice from those people. Somebody that is genuinely sincere, someone that will tell you the truth. And some of us don't have that. But that's also another. Some of us don't have that. So what do you do when you don't have that?
Right.
And then that's another issue. That's another issue.
That's like, well, and
so you just kind of
winging it.
Yeah, you kind of winging it. But you have an idea of what you feel about yourself, so you just do the best that you can with what you got, and keep it moving forward. And and eventually we learn more and more about ourselves as we grow. But it's definitely would be a great help if we did have, for those that don't have, someone that truly cares about them, that that's going to be honest with you, truthfully honest with you, that will tell you, hey, listen, you're great, but you're overstepping your boundaries here. Or do not be conceited. You're a beautiful person, but your personality's not, that's kind of sucks. You have to listen to someone. It's good to take advice from someone, but take advice from the right person. And if you don't have to fast forward with things, if you don't have the right person to get advice from, then you sort of pretty much just have to just live life and learn about yourself as you grow. And and ultimately that's what we do, because no matter how much we get advice from someone, we learn most about ourselves as we grow. Yeah, and then there's also another level that, yes, I'm going to bring in Jesus, I'm going to bring in God too, because for me, I I finally, as a growing up as a grown person, because it took forever to get to where I'm at now.
And where's
Still, a level of peace within myself, of knowing who I am,
Okay.
knowing how you should be treated, knowing
So
how
let me
you
ask you
should be
this.
loved,
Okay.
by
Now,
knowing yourself and what you deserve.
okay. And see that's another thing. So okay. All right, we're not getting on topic, y'all.
No.
I just got I got questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So yes, we're talking about relationships, right? And how past relationships affect you, presently, right? And we're talking about relationships, all the relationships you could think of, because those relationships, like I said, external stimuli definitely, affects you and helps shape you. That's part of your environment. So it shapes you, it forms you and molds you into the person that you are right now. Everything that's happened to you formed the person that you are as we are living, breathing right now. Okay. And all of the battle scars that you have, you understand what I'm saying, are because of, all of the external, factors
that
and
play
that was in your life. So, and I'm saying all that to say that all of that, in my opinion, okay, and I'm never going to change this opinion. I don't care how much therapy you get. I don't care who you talk to. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, once you're damaged, right? You're damaged. It doesn't fix itself. Like if you drop an apple, you understand, and you pick it up. Now, where you dropped it at, isn't it going to be damaged on that spot? Does it fix itself? I mean, it's going to be having a soft spot in it. Right. Or for instance, if you have like here, let me just do this right quick. Hank, see. Like, and I seen this done. I thought it was excellent. So you see how you have like this nice clean sheet of paper, not a mark, not a wrinkle, not nothing on it, right? It's nice. And then this is you. And somebody, you sitting here, you don't really have any type of negative thought about yourself. And then somebody might call you ugly, stupid, dumb, I just don't like you. Like, girl, you hit whatever they say, right? Yeah. That's it. And that's through life. That's the external. You see that? That's all of the external stimuli, factors, whatever that played a part. This is you now, right? And so people could say, you're pretty, I love you, all this other stuff, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I really didn't mean to hurt you, how can I make it up to you? All that. But now look at the paper. That's you. So are you fixed? You understand what I'm saying? Are you, how you once were? I mean, look at it. You see? Look at it. Are you how you once were? Absolutely not. This is, and also, this is therapy, all of that. You still have the damages. You understand? You still have the scars, basically, from what has been done to you from your past. So regardless as to whatever relationship you go into, it could be a healthy one, whatever, right? You still have said scars. And it's a healthy relationship as it pertains to boyfriend, wife, friends, whatever. But you still have those scars. And those scars show up like you don't necessarily trust nobody.
Absolutely right.
You got your blinders, like not your blinders, but you got
your shield on.
Right. That's what's up now. As a result of all of that, from your pops not necessarily being there, so you don't trust men too much. You might have what's that? What is that?
Or
not separation anxiety, but when people leave you constantly, you know what I'm talking about? Like you don't. What the hell? What is the word, y'all? See, sometimes, right? I be thinking about it a lot, and I can't call a word.
It's okay. It all happens to all of us.
It's like you have issues with, people being in your life and actually being stable and being there. You understand? So you don't trust that person's just going to stay there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you didn't have that stability, things like that. That's how those different scars show up, and people want to look at you like you crazy but I mean, you've been cheated on a lot. So let me see your phone. I need to know that I'm telling you, okay, so I've had an ex tell me he wasn't cheating on me to my face, but was cheating on me.
Right.
So your word don't mean nothing. Actions speak louder than words. That has been my tagline. That has been my mantra forever. Actions speak louder than words. Mm-hmm. So you can tell me all day I love you, but then you doing all this other type of stuff.
Right.
That's contrary to what you're saying.
Right.
Excuse me. And that's what I'm talking about. That's how your scars show up. That's how they show up. And you're gonna forever and always have that in the back of your mind. You're going to be able to trust people more, but you'll never trust them completely like you once did. It's kind of like what I was telling Shanna last night. Like when you have like an alcoholic or a drug addict and they get their first hit or whatever it is. You understand? And that first hit be that sweet thing. You understand what I'm saying? They be like, woo, baby, that get them so zooted. And every time they go back for that hit, right? It's never like the first hit. You see what I'm saying? So they got to go bigger and better. So essentially what happens is you kind of become numb to a lot of things. You might not necessarily realize that you are not necessarily trusting to someone until somebody pull your coat about it. Like you won't realize that maybe you have a problem with depending on people because you never had no one that you could depend on. So you don't depend on nobody. And so maybe you got a man or your friend that might see that you're struggling and they might try to help you, but you don't see that because you numb to it at this point, because let me just do this myself, because you already thinking in the back of your mind that I ain't got nobody anyway. So let me do this.
Right. Or, it's different things that can happen. Yes, I'm agreeing with you 100%, Melody.
But you said there's another side.
There's another side to it all too. That because you never had love from, let's say, your mother or your father, depending on what if your mom wasn't in your life or your father wasn't in your life, that you are kind of not chasing after love, but you're looking for love in all these wrong places because you're trying to find a love that wasn't given to you, but you don't realize that that's what you're doing.
Right.
So every relationship that you're with, you're trying to make that relationship work, even when you should time to say bye-bye. Even when you see that they're not giving you the affection that you deserve or that you want from the first or second week that you're with them, and their feelings, or not their feelings, but their image that they presented to you of themselves seems like it's lessening, and you just trying to fight for what it once was that week or two that everything was all lovey-dovey.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because you want it to work, you want the love, and it's coming from not having that male affection, that father role in your life, but you don't realize it, and so you keep on trying to make things work. You allow them to step all over you. You allow them to say things about you. And you keep on saying to yourself, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And you keep on hanging in there till you can't take it no more. But why should you deal with the pain for so long?
That's true.
And it stems from the mother and father role a lot of the time with women. So that the father is not alive, and men too, with women. So that's also, you stick in a relationship too long, that's not good for you, because you're trying to fight for what it first was, because you never had the male father or a female mother in your life to show you what it feels like to be loved, or an example to follow. You just want that feeling of being loved.
Right. And see, even, you know what? Yeah. Here's the thing. So even you might have your mother and your father.
That right? You could have that too, yeah.
And for the males though, right? Because we definitely do talk about a female perspective, and I get it, but I think another thing that we don't talk about is how you have men out here that treat women the way that they do. That's what we don't talk about, the cause of that also. You
That's
understand what
true,
I'm
too,
saying?
yeah.
And you have to understand one thing. Who's the first teacher in the house? It's your mama. You understand what I'm
Especially
saying?
with black families, majority is the mom.
But that's what it is, because
or
what they
grandma.
say. Right. So you know what they say. So there's
Yeah.
a saying, right? And it goes, you teach a man, you teach one person. But you teach a woman, you teach a nation. That's the difference. I'm saying that to say this. So the woman, she gives her son an example of what, a woman should be. Whether she realizes it or not, she's giving him that example because you're the first woman he knows. That's the first woman he fell in love with. You understand? That's his favorite girl. Y'all, come on. That's it. You understand? So the love that you give your son and the way that you treat your son and the way, and this is another thing, the way that you allow yourself to be treated by your husband, by your boyfriend, any male, your child actually sees that. They pick that up. You understand what I'm saying? So the way that these men are treating their mother, that is something that they see and internalize as well. You understand what I'm saying? So that also plays a role in how these little boys grow up to be young men and then grown men and treat their women a certain type of way. You understand what I'm saying? So it is imperative, it's one thing to put, a lot of things, because we do, and I'm going to just keep it a rag. We put everything on men. It's men's fault, so on and so forth, for this, that, and the third. However, women fit in there too. You understand what I'm saying? Women fit in there too. The way that we treat our sons is very serious. You can't leave everything up to their father. You understand there's certain things. You understand that we need to instill in our sons that this is what you look for in a woman. This is what a good woman is. You understand? This is what she looks like. This is how she acts and responds. Like you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's a fact. The same stuff that a father would say to his daughter as it pertains to looking for a male. He doesn't only tell her, he shows her. You understand? And so the mother has to exude the same thing. See, kids pay attention to what their parents do. So the people around them, like, they hear you, but they're seeing you more.
Yes.
They're visual. Mm-hmm. So you can say this, and this. However, you have to walk that when you have a kid. And I personally first see that firsthand when it comes to my son. You understand? Because my son, he mimics a lot of the stuff that myself, you understand, and my significant other does. He mocks us, Lord knows. He says everything that we say. He really looks up to his parents. He really, really does. Yes, I have a landline phone, and I sure do. Don't come for me. But
they're always good to have as backups. Always.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you have to, set good examples, for your children to follow. See, and that's what this is all about, right? So while you want to be able to, identify, this is the whole purpose of, this platform, yes, right? Uh-huh. So you want to be able to identify, your hurts, right? The thing that ails you, you understand? Because, you don't want to be walking around here and people experience you and all they get is negativity or, basically signs that you have been hurt, right? But they take it the wrong way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they don't trust you. People don't really talk to you. They standoffish. They introverted. And that's all because of external things that's happened to them. So that forced them to go inward, not talk to people, not trust them. And it's perceived differently. So while, as an adult, this is just my opinion. I'm not like no therapist, no psychiatrist, but I'm just a person who's lived life and has had, a lot of Things happened to me that was not pleasant. You know, I have a mom who had a lot of things that happened to her who was that was not pleasant. You know, I listened to her speak. I have friends, family, just a lot of people who went through things, and they still right now are not over the stuff that's happened to them.
Right.
You understand? And you know, they can go talk to whoever they want to, but essentially I feel like therapists, psychologists and stuff like that, they help you cope with it because it doesn't leave. I don't care, fight me. It doesn't go nowhere. Like, I'm going to stand 10 tones down on that. It'll never leave. You understand what I'm saying? You just coping with it. That's what you're doing. And you can be coping with it in a negative way. You understand? By, you know, projecting onto people, being mean, being, you know, obnoxious, you know, whatever. Or you can sit there, hold it in, which is still bad. Never say nothing to nobody. Don't talk about it, whatever. You understand? Or what you can do is talk about it, learn from it, learn how to deal with it, just like alcoholics and people that do drugs. You understand what I'm saying? They, if you notice in their meetings and stuff, they don't say that they're not an alcoholic or a drug addict no more. They say what? They're recovering. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's the same for you. When you've gone through the abuse that you have, you understand throughout your life, the different external people that's in your life that have done different things to you. You never heal from that. You just in recovery, and it's literally a lifelong recovery, in my opinion. You know, because you have to learn how to cope with that, and you know, it's you coping with, you know, all of that abuse and negative input that you got, because you still got to sort through all of this as you're going. It never goes away. And that's just personally how I feel. I feel like that's, you know, that's what it is. And you're learning how to deal with it every day. And I'm saying all that to say that while you're dealing with that and while you're learning to cope with that, what you do simultaneously is, if you have a child, you learn how you teach them different. You understand what I'm saying? So you teach them what it looks like when somebody is doing things to you that is not healthy. You understand? And you teach them that from a young age. You understand? When somebody says something, that's like somebody step on your foot. You say, ouch, that hurt. Get off my foot. You don't let them sit there and take it. You say no. If somebody hurts you, like come on, black people, y'all know. Your mom, what's the first thing your mama told you? Somebody put their hands on you, what you supposed to do? You supposed to hit them back. You don't let them beat you up. You don't let them bully you. You understand? And it's the same thing as it pertains to, you know, your mental health and stuff as well. You don't allow people to say whatever they want to you constantly, treat you however, like you nothing. You have people that love you, care about you. This is some of the stuff that you're supposed to, you know, instill in your children and let them know, like, the foundation that you raise your children on, it has to be so strong that even when they get older, you understand what I'm saying? They still can stand regardless of the storm that come through. A tornado could come through this hole. And guess what? They still going to stand 10 toes down. Ain't nothing going nowhere. That's how it really need to be. I mean, I don't know, Chandler, what you think? Because you looking at me like I'm crazy. But
no, I have a lot of things going in my head. And I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead, girl. Say what you got to say. What?
No, it's real. People being scarred is real. It affects everyone that you live with, people that are in your circle, people that you're around, people that are closest to you. Like you said, there's recovering drug addicts, alcoholics that have dealt with a lot, battling addiction.
And they do it every day.
And that's a strong struggle. It really is. And like you said, they never really recover completely, but they can they're coping with it, and they're doing what they can in their present time to stay away from the negative impact that drugs cause them or alcohol causes them, you know. And I also have to say, I always bring it back to Jesus. Pray. Yeah, pray that Jesus can take away that addiction. Pray that Jesus can heal you. Pray that Jesus takes away the sense of the urge to want to drink, the urge to want to do drugs. Is nothing impossible that Jesus can't do. I'm always bringing it back to Jesus because he's worked a number in my life. He has healed me from various things. So pray, pray, pray. God is real. He is there. Also, take the time to think about the negativity and use that negativity and flip it. Use that as a learning experience.
Yeah, sure.
Take something positive out of it. No, it's not positive, the negative influence that it caused you and impacted in your life. But take that knowledge of how you felt, all the emotions that you were feeling during that time, and use that to help someone else. And sometimes when you're helping, most of the times, I say 95.9%, when you're helping someone that was in the same pain that you were, it helps you heal too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it helps you.
And it helps you reflect on what you've dealt with in the past. Help that person, letting them know that they can get through any situation that they are going through, that it's possible to live it, survive it, and get through it. So you're being a positive energy in someone else's life and also helping yourself reflect and move forward. So, and while using that energy to be a positive energy in someone else's life, there's a reason for everything. So you can turn a negative into a positive when it's used the right way. That's all I had to say with that.
That's all I gotta say.
That's all I had to say with that, because I don't want to become repetitive in what I'm saying, but that's how I feel.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? So I honestly believe, right? I'm saying honestly,
yes.
I gotta say it. So I feel like nowadays we need repetition, because sometimes I just feel like with the way that things is rolling, people's attention spans be so little, like they don't pay attention long enough. So like you could be doodling and you miss what somebody say, but if they say it again, it's like, oh, okay. You heard it. You see what I'm saying? So whatever.
Okay.
The bottom line at the end of the day is, I think a good coping mechanism, right, for us, right, so-called American Negroes, right, I think one of the things, the starting point for us is that we need to talk about it.
Yes.
We need to sit down, and like I was telling my family, one of the things that we need to do, and I like this to be somewhat like it, is a lemon squeeze. And a lemon squeeze is basically where you sit down, you understand, and you get some issue off your chest. And that could be from the people like that's in your family, whatever, because the people that is in that lemon squeeze, right? So it could be in, a neutral place, right? And the people that's there are people that, you might have problems with, some issues with, and y'all sit down. And the agreement is that, so we're going to hash out this issue, but nobody can leave till it's resolved. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like if a family, you understand, has that, just a family, like you, your mom, your dad, stuff like that, if that's something that y'all start, do you know how impactful that would be? That would be a situation where your kids, your husband, wife, whatever, you'd be able to just come to them and talk to them about anything. Like that should be like a thing. Like y'all sit down, and so we about to just, you can call it whatever you want. A lemon squeeze. You could call it I'm getting this issue off my chest, whatever. Family, I don't care what you call it, but essentially it should be like, if you got something, you understand, that's ailing you, I need you to talk about it.
Right.
Is it something I did?
Right.
And that's how you stay close. And I feel like that's a start for pulling our community, so-called American Negroes, together, because we ain't together. Okay, that's a topic for discussion another day.
Yes, it is.
But I feel like if we start on a small level, meaning, obviously with yourself, right? And then you deal with your family, and you start to hash out things with your family, get some stuff off your chest, talk about some stuff that you didn't like. Maybe it could be how, the women, they felt like, things was happening to them and their moms wasn't listening to them, and they weren't able to express themselves,
Right.
and feel safe with doing so, and knowing that their mom is going to love them and take, whatever. Or maybe the boys felt like it's too much put on me too soon. You understand what I'm saying? I had to be a man sooner than what I wanted. You understand what I'm saying? Or I didn't get enough love, or I wasn't able to show any type of emotion.
Right.
Whatever it is. They need everybody needs to be allowed to come out and get some stuff up off their chest, how they feel. And I feel like the more you do that, the easier it is, to talk about it, to cope with issues, and then to have less issues, because you start to, pass on, right? Some really good things to your children. There won't be secrets. There won't be, harboring of any type of negative emotions, because you always are talking about it. You make sure you constantly have communication. You understand? Regardless of, how bad you think it is.
Right.
You won't even think it's bad, really, because if you're constantly talking about things that's bothering you or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, it won't really be, oh, this is bad, this is big, I'm feeling anxiety about telling my mom. They so open, like, I could just come.
Because to me, this is me. When you don't talk about things, you hold on to things in your heart, in your head. And when you do that, it's an energy. You're wasting precious energy where your time could be on something else. And sometimes this energy, you can't help it. Like if it's something that's really dear to you in your heart, you're going to hold on to it for a while, and only time can heal. But it's time and prayer is the true healing. But if you can talk to someone, it can help you cope with it, because you're releasing, you're letting it out. You're able to talk and share emotions with other people, and especially if it's your family, that's the best. And you can get other opinions. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes opinions can sometimes feel like they damage you, depending on the tone in which someone gives you their opinions. Some people, they give, you got to be careful too on how you talk to people, because the person that's going to you to get advice, they're already hurt. So you don't want to come at them in a harsh way, in a harsh manner, and just tell them like, get over it or anything. You want to really have sincere conversation, to really take that time and talk and understand their situation, and not just give just a little short advice with them leaving more questions and more confused.
But see, you know what? Not to cut you off. Go ahead. Say that.
You want to make sure that you fully understand what they're saying and be patient with them.
That's true. That's
patient. True. What's the rush? What's the rush for them to feel worse than what they came in when they wanted to talk to you? You push the person away, then they don't know when they want to talk to you ever again. Then you make them feel worse, and they still hold her and harbor and stuff, maybe even more so than when they wanted to come and talk to you to begin with.
Right.
So, it's if you're the listening party, listen entirely and give good
or try
sound advice, or try to
the best of your ability.
Right, to the best of your ability. Then the person that needs the advice will feel a little bit relieved, if not 100%, a little bit of relief. Hopefully, at least just for that day,
or at least they feel heard,
or for that moment.
At least they feel like they're heard.
Yes,
like you care enough to listen.
Yeah.
But I was saying, something. Yeah, you said, when you said that that part about to actually listen to them and not give them short advice, like like somebody could have it worse than you, so you need to just get over it, or stuff like that. That's you know, that type of stuff, right? It comes from people's past. You understand? Especially ours, so-called American Negroes. That comes from our past, because the reason why they say stuff like "just get over it" or "people have it worse than you," because, you know, depending on if they are like descendants of sharecroppers or slaves, they could be saying like, "Bruh, I was out. Do you not understand how like my mother, because my significant other, his grandmother, you know, she picked cotton when she was 6 years old. She was out there with her mother,
Grandmother?
grandmother,
Oh.
his grandmother. Yes,
Not great grandma, just
no,
grandmother.
his grandmother. So, well, no, his grandmother. So that's his mother's mother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's not way back.
This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
So those type of personalities would be the ones to tell you to just get over it. You understand? Because she's 6 years old. She picking cotton.
Right.
You understand? From sun up to sundown with her mother. You see what I'm saying? So you see what I'm saying? Like, or just get over it. People have it worse than you. That's probably some of the stuff that they're thinking about. You understand? Maybe some of the things that's happened in their past, not just, you know, the picking of the cotton or whatever, but it could have been, you know, various assaults they had. You know, them not having enough to eat. You're like a lot of things, and they're looking at you now, right? Because you have to understand that these people is like my father. He was born in what, 47? My mother was born in 58. You understand? You got people that was, think about what was going on in America during those times.
Right.
And then they're looking at you now like, my childhood didn't look nothing like yours. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like we really don't think about that. Do we? When's the last time? And I'm talking about, I don't care, millennials, period. You understand what I'm saying? We older millennials, but you know, but just period. When's the last time, you know, us millennials or those younger than us, when's the last time you ever sat down and literally asked your parent, and again, I'm talking about so-called American Negroes, so-called African Americans, that's who I'm speaking with. When's the last time you ever sat down and asked your mama or your grandmama about their childhood, about them growing up? How was their life then? What was their parents like? Do you ever consider that? Like, paying attention to your past, right? And your past is what your parents, your parents, their past, stuff that what they was going through, the stuff that the way that their parents grew up. You understand? That explains things.
Right.
And that's why I feel like it is important to know that type of stuff.
Yes.
It gives you a better insight on what you're dealing with and what's happening and where the hurt is coming from and where, you know, the generational cycles are, how they start, what happened, how they started. Like, all of that type of stuff matters. That's what makes you you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I mean, I'm serious. I feel like we don't talk to our parents enough, B. I feel like it's not enough talking going on in our households.
And a lot of the times I have to say, it's the parents that do not know how to talk to their children.
Because, and guess what? And why do you think that is?
Because of how they were raised.
Because of their parents.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like everybody's so quick to jump on their parent. But you have to understand, so you want me to build this house, right?
Yeah.
And all I have is a screwdriver. So that's what's in my toolbox. I can only build you a house with the tools I got. You see what I'm saying? And you see how it makes you think. It really makes you think and realize, wow, yo. Wow. So you can only give me what you got.
Exactly.
That's why I say this is so specifically for so-called American Negroes, African Americans, you know what I mean? Because we really need to do some like talking. to our family. And it ain't even about condemning them or nothing. It's literally about just trying to figure out some things. You understand? To explore what they were going through. Like, really think about that for a second.
Right. I think every family, and it's not like that now, but a family should have a dinner talk.
But that's what I mean.
Just like, you eat your dinner, and then after dinner for like an hour, just to talk and ask how everyone's day was going.
Mm-hmm.
To talk as family, which a lot of us were on, like you said, social media. We started in the beginning of our talk like an hour ago talking about social media, how social media affects people. Talk about social media, the things that are happening in year 2022. You know what I mean? Talk about social media, your friends on social media, what's going on with school, how is social media affecting you. You can even talk about homework on a computer or not on a computer, just things, what's going on with your mother and father at their job, cousins that are visiting the family, your career, what do you want to do in life, how to build financially even. Just a lot of things.
Just talk.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I feel like we don't do that.
No, we don't. We don't.
And that's the reason why, you have this gap in between generations, because we don't talk to each other. And it's so messed up because the generation that came before us didn't have that tool, and the one that came before them, they didn't have that tool, and so on and so forth. You have to understand, like, we as so-called Black people have a deficit when it comes to, emotional. Like, I mean, we have a lot of deficits, correct? Like, we just do. It is because when you come from slaves, you don't have a lot. Like, there's not a lot of, things that get passed down. It's just not. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to, pick up certain things along the way. And one of these tools that we literally are trying to throw out there is the gift of conversation and talking and getting back to like some real basic stuff. Like, pick a time. That's what I was talking about with the lemon squeeze. We don't have to call it lemon squeeze, just a talk. Like, you could pick a day, like every Friday.
Yeah.
Or every Monday or Wednesday at the middle of the week, every Wednesday, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about some things. Like, what's going on? Let me catch up with you. Let me see how you're doing. You understand? Because that can lead to other stuff.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, we need to do that. And I feel like that's how you can start to, as adults, you cope with, the lack of not being able to talk to your family like that, like your mom and dad and siblings like that. You're coping with it while you're giving your child something new.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And then they'll pass, see, that type of thing. That's what I mean by you pass down certain things. Like, you get a new tool and then you pass it down.
Right.
You understand? And that could be one. And that's the gift of communicating efficiently and effectively with your family.
Yes. And I also have to say this. Stop being selfish.
That's true, girl.
Oh my goodness. Do not do not put your friends over your family. Mothers and fathers, do not put soap operas, TV shows over your time with taking time with your children.
Oh,
helping them with homework, for crying out loud. Help them with homework. Do not put on the TV and, my show was on, I gotta watch my show. Mm-hmm. No. Turn off the TV, parents. Take time, help your kids with their homework. If they're asking you they need help with arithmetic or math that they call it nowadays, and reading or English or whatever the kids need help with.
But what age do you start helping your kids with their homework? Because
some parents never help them with their homework. The kids are learning at school from their teachers that are halfway teaching them, and the parents are out dating, going on dates,
and that's
selfish.
That's another thing.
Or they're watching TV, selfish. Or they're chit-chatting with their girlfriends on the phone, selfish. Put your family first.
Okay, can I say, I just want to interject. I'm going to jump right out like double dutch. So what I'm saying is this. Okay, single mothers and single fathers, please stop putting those people that you're dating over your children.
Yes.
Stop putting their needs before your own kids.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Because, what people need to realize, right? And I'm just gonna say men and women, right? Because I don't want to read nobody. What I'm saying is that here's the thing. I know you're single and you want some company, but I got a question. Didn't you live your life already? Ain't you grown? You understand what I'm saying? You're a whole adult. Your child is literally only the age that they are for a short period of time. You understand what I'm saying? And they're growing into what you already are.
Right.
You understand? So you literally can put I want to date, I want to get my feet wet. I mean,
yeah.
No, you could put that to the side. You
Exactly.
shouldn't, and I'm gonna just keep it all the way live. You should have never had a kid, because once you have a kid, a lot of your needs and stuff like that need to go on the back burner. I don't care. You don't have to agree with me, but the fact is the facts, because your child cannot raise themselves, because you see what happens when kids get out here and they raising themselves and their parents is off doing what they want to do, talking about, well, mommy got to have a life too. No, mom has a life when their child is like 18, 19, 20, 21, when they're ready to leave the house, like fly the nest, and they can do these things for themselves, like get a job, you understand, buy their own food and stuff like that. That's when you can actually be able to have your own life. But not when your child is 3 and infants and toddlers,
even
and teens,
12, 13, 15, 16,
when they're
17,
preteens,
even
all
all the way
that.
up to 21 sometimes.
You have to be there for your child. Exactly. You fail to realize once you have a child, that is your priority. Up until, I would say until maybe 21 or so. Right. I feel like that's your priority. It should be your priority. You had a child. Like, you chose. Like, let's keep it a rat. You chose to have a child, so now you're responsible for said being that you placed into this world. That Most High used you. You understand? Because you was using your bodily parts to have a child. So now you have this child, and now you have to be there and be responsible. It's not about you at this point. And it's so weird that it's 2022 and people gotta tell tell a whole adult that when you have a kid, it's not about you, bro. Like, it's really not. Right. Yes, I get it, right? And this is me coming from me, and people that know me be like, what? But the fact of the matter is, it really isn't about you. Yes, I get it. You need some me time. I understand that. I get that, right? Because we all become overwhelmed, and not even just if you have kids, but just in general, people become overwhelmed, and you need some time to regroup and all that other stuff. Yeah, I get that. But at the end of the day, it's really about your kid, and it's about what the best interest of your child is at all times. Yes. Period. Yeah. Period. Because and now is not the time where people need to be, so self-absorbed, that they're not paying attention to their kids. Because as I stated earlier in this show, that kids is going missing regularly, and people are acting like it's not that big of a deal. Right. Especially so-called American Negro kids. Yes. Our children are missing women
every day, and not even on the news.
Not on the news. Like last year alone, what was it? Over, like, I think it was either 1,000 or so Black women just went missing. And who's talking about it like that? Nobody. Right. You understand? How many thousands of young Black kids that's going missing? Who's really talking about that? Nobody. Right. So don't you think that you, as a parent, you understand, need to be paying close attention to your children? You need to be the main influence on your children. You need to be your child, however many kids you have, role model. That's what you need to be, the main influences on your children at all times, because there's other people out here that are predators, that are preying on your child, that's grooming your children unbeknownst to you. And this is something that you need to be fully aware of, right, at all times. And that's healthy. You understand? That's a healthy relationship when you are in your child's business and you know what your child is, and you know what they're doing, who they're around. I don't care what these kids say nowadays that parents overstep. No, I brought you into this world. I need to know what's going on, because I'm responsible for you. Yes, exactly. Something happens to you, they're not going to be looking at who you was hanging out with. They're going to be looking at me, not you. They're going to be looking at me. You understand?
Popeyes.
Boy, you go. Mommy will make you some Popeyes, boy.
I like Popeyes.
Yeah, well, I like you to go back in there and do what you was doing. I love you, smooches. Love you, stinky butt. I'm so silly. But yeah, your children need to be just as important to you as, you know, your breath of air. Those are your children. You responsible. That's like a big I don't know. Like when I was pregnant, y'all don't understand how stressed I was, because I understood, and you might feel that way too when you think about the fact that, oh my gosh, I am literally about to have a whole human, like a whole nother me, like somebody that's like me, running around here, and I literally have to not only navigate my way, but I have to navigate for him.
Yes.
You have to be responsible for a whole nother person. That's why it's so important for what we're talking about, relationships, and understanding how your past affects your present when it comes to, you know, various hurts and things, and how to identify when you're not over something and when things have hurt you. You understand? Because you don't want to pass those things on to your children. You see what I'm saying? Like, that is so imperative that you really, really, really get a handle on that, and try to give your children, you know, more tools to put in their toolbox so that they can be better than the generation before them. And then the generation that they're going to give birth to is better than them still. And we so desperately need that in our community.
Yes,
because
we do. Yes, we do.
Baby.
Yes, we do. We see in our own communities, teens, young teens, like 13, 14, 15, out on the street at 2:00 in the morning. Now, where are their parents? They screaming, yelling, smoking weed in the hallway at 12, 13, 10, 11 years old.
Wait,
where are their
what's
parents?
that drug they doing now out here?
Where is
fentanyl?
Oh, that's some strong drug. I'm not talking about that, but yeah, that's something else. But I'm talking about, you see, you know, kids smoking weed in the hallway, or that other what's that other smoke that they smoke? It's another it's like a it's
Shannon, we old.
It's like artificial marijuana.
Oh, the vapors, the vapes.
No, not the vapes. It's something else.
Oh, with the hookah?
No, it's something else. It's not
what?
the. It's not the vape.
Know.
It's I'm trying to remember the name of it. But it'll come back to me, guys. But yeah, you should know where your kids are. They should not be smoking in the hallway, whether it's cigarettes, weed, whatever. They should not be smoking. Period.
You are not your kids' friend
at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and the parents are not even with the kids. That's the thing. The kids are by themselves.
Because why?
Because the parents are not looking after their kids.
Because they too busy living their best life.
Right.
They gotta have a life. They said. They need their life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I get it. I understand. Guess what? Your children are annoying. I know firsthand. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. They're annoying. Sometimes they get on your nerves. You need a break. Oh my goodness. Every 5 minutes they asking you for something. I understand that. It's literally like if you had a younger sibling and how they were. Got it. Understood. But guess what? That's what happens. That's why people who don't have kids, you really need to think about it before you have them. You understand? And those who have them, here's the thing. You need to find ways to get, to have your me time. You understand? Whether that be your kids have to stay with their grandparents for a little while, or their uncles or their aunts, but make sure they're in a safe place. Obviously, you understand what I'm saying? Or maybe they're at school and you take a day off work and it's just you. Mm-hmm. You got to be creative. But the fact of the matter is, you understand, and this is so crazy because animals understand this. Okay, that your children is that priority. And I mean literally, animals know this. Like literally. Like a whole lion will knock your head off your shoulders if you come near their child. Are you kidding me?
Right.
You feel me? So, Come on. And I'm saying all this to say that so when we on a smaller scale, learn how to be able to communicate efficiently with our families, you understand, then what that does is it stretches beyond your family, right, to now it goes into your community, so the Black community, you understand, and then we'll be able to effectively communicate with each other, and it won't always be so, which it is a lot of with us, and I think it's stemming from what I'm talking about, relationships, you understand, bad ones, we don't know how to effectively communicate amongst our family members. How the hell will we know how to effectively communicate with people we don't even know?
That's so true.
That's in our community.
That's very true.
And that's what I say. You see how it might seem like we're going off course, but we're not. It all comes back to that relationships. You understand? And your past and how it affects your presence and your present. And when we talk about relationships, we're talking about negative ones, because obviously the positive ones, what's understood doesn't really need to be explained, because we get it. The positive relationships, it's positive. Right. There's nothing wrong with that. So you don't need to talk about something that is actually working. It's good. It's positive. That's not something you need to talk about. You need to talk about what's actually ailing us. And that's the negative relationships that we are actually having, and that's what needs to be fixed. We need to learn how to deal with each other. We need to learn how to cope with the issues that we've had based upon the experiences that we've had, with other people, with our environment, so on and so forth. Because as I showed you before, once a person is damaged, they damaged.
Yeah.
It's not something that, you can fix it by apologizing, right, because people are struggling still after you apologize, because they didn't expect it from you because you were so close to them. So that cut was not just an abrasion. That cut them to the bone. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to leave a scar. Look at the deepest cut you got on your body and see the scar. You don't feel like it's still there. You see what I'm saying? It's still there. That's my point. So we need to be careful about how we come off to people, what we say to people, how we handle people. You understand? We really do. Because that would avoid doing stuff like this, and you got to look in the video earlier to see what I'm talking about, but that will avoid that, and of course you're going to have bumps and bruises. There's going to be that knucklehead, that's out here that says whatever, but by all means, it won't look like this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you won't be a train wreck. You see what I'm saying? So it just all of this stuff stems from home.
Yeah.
All of think about it, because that's your child's, that's you when you were a child. All children, all their major interactions or first reactions, let's just say that all their first reactions start at home. Their first teacher was their mother. You understand? Yeah. And that's it. That's where it all starts. That's why, yes, it's imperative that we learn how to effectively communicate. This is why it's imperative that we learn how to handle, learn how to recognize our hurts and learn how to cope with it and understand when we're being triggered.
Yes.
You understand? And handle it in that moment. This is why, it's a thing. We really need to deal with it. Like, seriously. And this is why we need to pick a time to actually spend time with our family, love on our family, be able to talk to our family, be able to understand what's going on with our family. So, the boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, you need to know what's going on with them. Are they emotionally okay and sound? Are your children emotionally okay and sound? You need to be able to talk to them and understand what's going on with them. There needs to be, I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing. I'm a firm believer in, when you're a child, there's no such thing as a privacy unless you're going to the bathroom to use the bathroom and you're washing up. That's the only about privacy that you need. And the reason why I feel like that is because in that privacy, where your parents don't come in your room and go through your stuff, that's when you're forming connections with people that are perverts. We're talking about for young girls, for young girls. and you're
Yeah.
keeping away from them guys that you're talking to. I'm a girl. I'm a woman, right? So I know what I'm talking about. And if you want to keep it a rack, you know I'm right. You understand what I'm saying? So that privacy, oh, don't be going through my stuff. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. Because going through your child's stuff can actually save your child's life.
Yes. Go ahead, Melzy.
People need to stop. I'm sick of these people running around here talking about, oh, my parents always going through my stuff and they doing yes, because there are people out here who is really trying to get you. That's what's going on out here in these streets. You understand? Same thing with these young boys. It's the same thing. Paying attention to who they're talking to when they're online. You understand who they hanging out with. You need to know their friends. You need to be nosy as a parent.
And even I'm going to interject too. Sometimes it's the people that are closest to you. Okay? Family members even.
Those is the main
Those
ones.
are the main predators sometimes.
Hello.
Sad to say. So if you play an active role in your child's life,
Hello.
they won't feel embarrassed to tell you about maybe a family member
Hello.
that's messing with them.
Hello.
Like a cousin, maybe even an uncle.
Okay? Like it is what it is.
Or-
Whether it's
yeah.
their father,
Yes.
their brother,
Yes.
their sister, whatever.
Whatever. Exactly.
You need to be able to talk
Yes.
to your kids. You need to be and see that's
And
another
pay close attention to your kids'
That's
actions.
right.
Because if
Exactly.
they don't talk about it, if you're close to them and pay attention to their action, you can tell when something is wrong.
That's right. That's why it's
Yeah.
so important
Yeah.
that you talk, you have open communication with them. This is
Yeah.
why relationships, I don't know
Right.
how many times, yes, I'm
Yes.
going to refer to the title
Yeah.
because so we know that they
Yeah.
on point. How relationships, you understand, your past relationships and things like that affect your present ones, because here's the thing. If you've had a situation where something like that has happened to you, guess what? You know the signs. You understand? And you can see that in your children. You understand? And you'll be able to know how to effectively communicate with them so that they can communicate with you. Pay attention. That's what it is. And that's how you change generational cycles, curses, all of that. You have to do different things. You have to do something different. I don't care. No, one thing that I'm going to continue to do is tap that A. When my son acting a fool, yes, he going to get that rod. Okay? Spare the rod, spoil the child, and I'm fully in belief of that. I'm not changing that. There are certain things that no, I'm not changing. No. Okay? But yes, I will, be open, talk to him about things that he need to look out for. Let him understand that you can talk to me. Just talk to him all the time. Like we sit down, we need to bring back reading books to your child when they go to bed.
Yes, Melzy.
How
Bring it
about
back.
that?
Yes.
Yes. Also,
Yeah.
like Shanna brought up, having a family dinner around the table, or maybe it's not a dinner. Maybe y'all have family dinner in y'all bedroom. I don't know nobody's living situation, right? Because this is us, so-called American Negroes. We po in here, whether we want to believe it or not, whether we want to lie, we can front. You know how y'all do. Fake it till you make it. Okay. But as long the point is to be together and be familiar with each other, so that so that if your child, is not acting themselves, you know it immediately. If your significant other's not acting right, you know it immediately, because that's not you. I know you. If somebody from the school is trying to tell you about your child, so that's not my kid. You're lying.
Right.
You automatically immediately know. That's the point. That's the difference. We need to get tighter. In order to get tighter as a community, it needs to start at home.
Yes.
Period. And fix these relationships.
Yes.
And that's that. And until next time, unless Shanna has something, Shanna, go on, girl.
No, that's pretty much everything that Mel said. I agree 100%. To start with the family first. The conversations, quality time. That's all. Quality time with your family, conversations, just a general understanding of each other, a general appreciation for each other, and to help each other out when needed. Not to be selfish, to be selfless, and loving and kind, and work with each other as a unit, as one, and help each other. And doing that, you'll be able to build a strong foundation, unbreakable. So when your child or children or cousins go out into the world, um, they will be able to cope with things hopefully better, and be able to understand where things stem from, where they're not feeling so confused. And so the cycle of the past, relationships with family and situations won't continue to linger on to the future.
Right.
All we're trying to do is give positive advice, and positive feedback. Um, Thank you for listening. Once again, um, our chat is, um, truth be told, for you,
To
I mean
you.
to you, excuse me, by you.
Mhm.
um, and that's at gmail.com. You can put in your questions, any comments, and we will make sure to read it and get back to you
Any
as soon as
topics?
possible.
Any topics?
Yeah,
any
any
things you want to
topics.
talk about?
Yeah.
We definitely we definitely welcome that, because I think that this is truth be told. So we needed to what's wrong?
The email that they came.
Oh, okay, we definitely need to tell the truth all the time. You understand what I'm saying? So any type of anything dealing with our community, we definitely gonna come out. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna tell the truth about it. You understand, whether you like it or not? Because at the end of the day, the truth don't care about your feelings. The truth is the truth. It don't matter.
Right.
Like what
Exactly.
it is what the hell it is. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And again, our email is truthbetoldtoyoubyou@gmail.com. So like I said, like we said, basically, if you have any type of comments, concerns, any way that we can improve, anything that you want to
The link.
anything that you want to
anything that you want to discuss and talk to us about, we're here, open ears. Yes, we're both working, but we will make sure when we get home that we will check our emails and get back to you as soon as we can. We're here, open for comments, conversations, anytime. And you already know, Sundays, every Sunday on YouTube. We will, hopefully, God willing, we will definitely be here. And the password.
Nope, we don't have a password.
Oh, we don't have a password?
Wait, what you need? Oh, that link is going to be here now. So this is about to, we gotta.
Okay. Sorry, guys. So we have a link that's given to us at every showing on Sundays.
Right.
So what we'll do, we also will give the link. This showing is getting ready to end. Right. So next week, next Sunday, we will have a different link, and we'll be sure to give the link to you when we first start the show. Bear with us because we are definitely new to this whole YouTube experience with our live podcast. We're learning as we go. So any new information that we receive or we get through our understanding, we will give to you, and we will give you the link to our Truth Be Told, to you, by you, every Sunday. The time frame is from
well, it might vary because I don't always get up at 4. So we'll let you definitely know.
We'll let you know, but it's later on part of the day. Mm-hmm. Usually around like 5, 6 o'clock, 7. Yeah.
But see, I don't know. So, going forward, we might not even have to provide a link, right? Because you might be able to just go to our channel, which is Truth Be Told to You by You. I'm not sure, but we're gonna figure this out.
Yes,
and we're gonna get this thing popping.
Yes,
and you just gotta understand. We're not trying to sit here and talk like we in college or we on some job interview. Like that's not what this is. This is basically you chilling because we are a family. You understand? This is a nation, so-called American Negroes or so-called African Americans, however you define yourself at this time. You understand what I'm saying? Like. That's what we doing. Like we a family. We sitting around here and we talking. We got things we want to get off our chest, so we talking about it. That's how it is. It's not, it's not going to sound pretty, all that. No, we're not doing that. That's not a thing. You understand what I'm saying? So, there's going to be times we're going to have guests that's going to come on and talk about different things, depending on what our topics are. As we go and get more savvy with our technology, our page is going to look better. We're going to have music,
Yes.
we're going to just do it. We're going to do it up for y'all. So, just make sure y'all tune in, bear with us.
Yes, stay tuned. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Power to the people, but just love and respect.
Right.
Learning, knowledge, and love. So until next time, till next Sunday.
Don't forget Most High first, always.
Yes. Praise be to the Lord and
Hello.
Savior Jesus Christ and the Father.
Okay.
And stay healthy.
Yeah, and stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Yes, stay healthy.
You feel me?
And keep your minds healthy.
Oh yes, and keep your mind healthy.
Out of the
Yes.
mouth of a babe. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
The future right here.
You see?
The future.
It's
Knowledge is power.
That's
Starting
right.
with the you.
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
So we love you to life. See you next time.
See you next time.
Boy, you ain't gonna be on here next time.
Oh.
Do.